Hello again and welcome to another exciting edition. Welcome. Today's episode, we are diving into a topic that sparks a lot of emotion, confusion, and even controversy: sex before marriage. Hello and welcome to today's episode of True Love Talk on PCG TV. My name is Lydia Bachiwa AJ. I'm your host, and we're going to dive into a very interesting conversation. A lot of young couples find it, hard to navigate. Some find it a breeze, but we want to know how are they doing it and how are they not doing it. Today, I have with me a very good friend and a Reverend Minister, Reverend Stanley Todison from the Resurrection Congregation, Accra Central. And also with me, we have Mrs. Ekua Ofori Atta from the Grace Congregation. Okay, welcome back. This is PCG TV. In the light, there is light. Ekua, thank you for coming. And her name is Mrs. Ekua Ofori Atta Mensah. Thank you for joining us.
A pleasure.
Thank you also for Stanley for joining us. Yes.
The pleasure is mine.
Great. So we want to have a quick icebreaker. It's our tradition on the show. I'm going to ask you a question. You just simply answer yes or no. That is it. And it's about when you first met your in-laws. So the first time I met my in-laws, I felt nervous.
Yes.
Yes. No. Great. The first time I met your in-laws, you felt welcomed.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Judged.
No. No.
Wow. Surprised.
No. Yes.
Overfed.
With food?
Yes, with food.
Yes. Maybe with information.
Great. And finally, outnumbered.
Not really. Yes, I think I was.
You were outnumbered.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so this is our icebreaker, just something for fun. But let's dive into the conversation. We have a very long road ahead. Who falls into the in-law category?
Well, if we look at the traditional definition of who an in-law is, we are looking at basically relatives of your spouse.
Okay.
So it could be parents, it could be aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, that's the siblings. So we have what we call mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, and sometimes we extend it to other relatives.
That's a long list. Yeah.
Long list. So
cousins.
And especially because we are Africans, our family system is such that it's not nuclear. So everybody who is related to your mother, your father, you call the person your in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is traditionally what we know.
Okay, so I believe you align with that. But how can we get to know all these people without, overstepping when we are not married? Because you need to form some form of relationship with them. So how can you get to know them without breaking any boundaries, overstepping?
Right. So first off, when you're not married, technically you are not yet part of the
So
family.
they are not your in-laws.
So you take your time. I just believe that most of the time the onus lies on the partner.
Okay.
To gradually introduce the fiancé or fiancée to the family.
Okay.
So avenues are there. Sometimes you are invited to church where the parents worship.
Yeah.
You just have a few bonding time with them. You get to go for family functions.
Yeah.
Invited. You don't go unannounced or uninvited.
Okay.
Through your partner. Go for family functions. Get to meet relatives who will come.
Okay.
That is one way of bonding. I just feel that getting up and invading your potential or future in-laws' privacy and their home is a no-no.
That means you can't take initiative. Like it's your birthday, you can't just show up. It has to be through your partner.
If you've not been introduced before,
and
you don't already have a relationship with the in-laws, I'm just imagine just getting up and finding a message from someone who says they are my son's girlfriend.
Maybe
and
you're
I'm
the
saying, hello, mommy.
Yeah.
It could be very awkward.
Yeah.
It is proper, even traditionally,
Yeah.
for you to have one foot in the door.
Okay.
Someone should lead you in.
Okay.
And when you are in that circle, you can gradually start taking the initiative.
Yeah.
Sometimes we, especially with the women, we feel that we need to do a lot.
It's an audition.
For the, the potential in-laws to
Yeah.
accept us, but
Yeah.
sometimes it can be very annoying.
Okay.
Because you don't understand the family system of that household.
Okay.
Some people are not even naturally like that with their children.
Yeah.
And it could be a gradual process to rope you in. But then suddenly you are stepping in, remembering birthdays. Some parents may not even like the whole birthday affair. And then just imposing.
Yeah.
That could actually affect that relationship being built. But most importantly, get invited.
Okay.
Get into the space slowly.
Ease yourself in.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And I like what you said about you don't know the family dynamics. Even the birthday might be associated with something devastating that happened. So you need to take your time and be introduced, be let in by someone and take it step by step. Sometimes I say that your in-laws' birthday, today you bought a fridge. Tomorrow you have to buy what? Because you need to, keep out. Exactly. Yeah. But Reverend, what do you have to say about this?
Yes, so I think I agree with Ikia. It's an important thing for young people to do or to be couples to do, because you must be able to allow yourself to grow into the family you're going to be married into. Don't rush it.
Okay.
I know of instances where people have been added to family groups, WhatsApp groups, and then in breakups, you have to be.
How do you?
I mean, all those things.
So would you exit, or you wait for them to remove you?
My sister. So you must allow yourself to warm up into the relationship. Sometimes even you must try to stay back in certain instances.
Yeah.
You see, you give yourself some time. You don't just. There's some people who just go to the kitchen, they are cooking, they are grinding pepper, they are doing things. And as you said, they want to pass the auditions.
Yeah.
But if you will be married, you'll be married. You don't need to overperform or do yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important to allow yourself, and it is the role of your partner to do this. Sometimes you have to introduce the person, not just introduce the person, but give the person certain opportunities. As she said, maybe there's a family gathering, and you think that this is a smaller group that she can feel comfortable. Invite her, let her mingle with your cousins, your brothers or sisters, a step at a time. If you know there's an auntie who is very troublesome and doesn't like people, you don't bring your partner around your that auntie or that uncle at that time. Try to get the right opportunity before you do that. So it's a gradual process, and we must respect the spaces that our partners have with their family.
Great. And I think that if you yourself can't be there, don't let them go because you've committed that you are bringing this person, because it can be a bit awkward when you show up there, now you're on your phone and they think that you don't like people and all that. And the thing about not going to cook and clean and all that, I remember in secondary school, one of our headmasters, Reverend Abochi, he used to say that, look, once you get married, you will have an abundance of doing these things. So why do you rush it? And I really love that. Also, the Bible says that we should honor our mother and our father. The Bible also says about marriage in Genesis 2 that we should leave and cleave. So the man will leave his mother and his father. So how do you ensure that as you're leaving and cleaving, you are still honoring your mother and your father?
I think we've set the tone for the conversation on in-laws on the very right part, that as a couple, you must always have boundaries.
Okay.
God expects you to respect your parents, and God expects you to love your wife.
Yeah.
So if there is no clear boundary, you will always find yourself in a dilemma whether I should honor my parents or I should love my spouse. And that is where the problem is.
Yeah.
So leaving your parents and entering into marriage is very important. Once you do, that's why in a traditional customary setting, usually when you come to the church, the pastor will ask the father, has this man performed all the necessary rites?
Exactly.
Because we understand that once the person comes to marry, the person is taking a certain responsibility.
Yeah.
So as a parent, you must be able to know that I used to give orders to my daughter.
Mhm.
Come and sleep at night.
Mm.
Come and do this. Come and do that. But now my daughter is with someone who I deem responsible to take care of her.
Yeah.
And so you give the person that room to be the husband that he is.
Yeah.
It's challenging when you are married to somebody and it's like the father is throwing instructions every day and your wife is now confused because it's like she's in the middle. Father says, don't go. Husband says, go. And so there's this kind of pull and pull, push and pull. So it is important that we set boundaries and let our parents know. And if you're a parent too, I think you should know. You've been married before. Ask yourself, if I am in marriage and my father is doing what I am doing to my daughter or my son, will I feel comfortable?
Okay.
So I think that living and cleaving is very important because we need to love and submit to the people that we are committed to in marriage. And the parents must also know that there is a call on their children who are getting to marry to do this loving and submitting without dishonoring them in any way.
Okay.
So if you allow it,
Yeah.
your children will always find themselves in a situation where sometimes they may be tempted to dishonor you.
Yeah.
Because they need to also respect whoever they are in a relationship with.
Yeah.
So I think that we can do it if we have boundaries and we know what to do at what time.
Okay.
Both the parents' side and then the couple side.
Okay. Mrs. Operata, I want you to shed more light on the honoring the parent side as against leaving and cleaving. Osopo has talked about the parents doing their bits, but what about the couple? Like as a wife, how do you ensure that your husband can honor and even though he's left and is cleaving, he can still honor his parents?
Yeah. So I think the Bible was not mistaken when he said he will leave his father's house. The Bible acknowledges that the man and the woman both come from a family.
Yeah.
So leaving the house does not exempt you from responsibility.
Okay.
And your major responsibility as a child is honoring parents.
Yeah.
Honor goes beyond being what word do I even want? Following every instruction.
Yeah.
Honoring means respecting.
Yeah.
So as a couple, you should understand that one, we have a responsibility towards our parents.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that it is understood amongst us because sometimes that is the problem.
Yeah.
I have a responsibility towards my parents.
Yeah.
And so once we are together, that responsibility becomes ours as a couple to give that to them.
Yeah.
Secondly, the responsibility includes respecting parents.
Yeah.
So what do we do to make sure that we are respecting parents?
Yeah.
It means that when they have ideas, we should listen.
Yeah.
Listen when they have ideas. Thank them for their ideas, but always let them understand that, okay, we thank you for this feedback. We'll go and talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we'll decide on what to do when it comes to
Okay.
it. Because sometimes even the leaving means that you have to leave some family principles and some traditions you had in your family and start new ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember in the early age part of our marriage and we had our child, that we were conflicted about naming. My husband is strong Ashanti. They have a naming system and pattern like Gans would do. You know, you have to name the first child about this. So parental influence was very keen on his side. I come from a very liberal family. If you want to name your child Tree, go ahead and do. So then we needed to just take advice and say that, okay, this is our family. We have a family dynamic that we want to build. But let's listen to our parents. Let them have, this is how we do it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. At the end of the day, when we needed to name the children, we came as one front to say, this is what we have agreed on.
Yeah.
And the parents had nothing to say.
Yeah.
Because we listened. We were not quick to turn down or dismiss what they were going to say. So I think that is a dynamic we need to play when it comes to leaving, cleaving, and honoring.
Yeah, yeah. So listen, but and don't dismiss. Listen, give them an ear, because before you even got married, they were the ones or your greatest influence, and now you are married, so you don't just dismiss what they have to say. You're here on PCG TV. We are having the show True Love Talk, and we're having an interesting conversation. I'm sure you're enjoying it, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We are going to answer all of them. Don't go anywhere. We're taking a break. Hello and welcome back. This is True Love Talk on PCG TV, and we are having a conversation on managing relationships with in-laws. I'll start with you, Kia. So, we've talked a bit about in-laws, leaving, cleaving, boundaries and all that. And I believe we all want to do it right. But then again, I want to know, how can we, what can we practically do to ensure that we have like good relationships with our in-laws? Like what can, as an in-law, I'm married to someone's son, or you're married to someone's daughter, what can we practically do to ensure that we have a good relationship with them?
So, first off, as believers, we have one charge.
Okay.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Okay.
There's one rule that I think applies in every situation.
Okay.
Your in-law is your parent,
Okay.
because it's a parent to your spouse.
Yeah.
And when we are married, we are one. So if we are one, it means that the respect I give my parents should be the same respect I give my spouse's parents.
Okay.
Because that's why they are called parents-in-laws.
Yeah.
They are parents you acquire through law.
Yeah.
So it's very important that the same respect you accord your parents, you give them.
Yeah.
Secondly, do make sure that you are honoring them. Honoring with respect, with responsibility. If the spouse was taking care of their parents before you got married, that care should not stop, especially when it is financial help.
Yeah.
If they had a certain relationship where we're checking up on each other every week, it should be part of our new family dynamics that every Sunday we are calling family members to check up on them. They are the things that solidify the relationship, because remember that somebody has raised that child for over 20 years before you came for them.
Yeah.
And then suddenly cutting off a relationship that they had nurtured and built over a period can be very painful. So it is an onus on the couple to make sure that these relationships are still built.
Okay.
The relationship, not the influence.
Okay.
Those are two things.
Okay.
Building the relationship, how we are relating to the parents, are very important that we maintain them. The influence is what Papa had said. We build the boundaries towards, so that that influence doesn't affect the marriage. And then the don'ts. It is not very healthy for us to brand in-laws as bad, even before getting to know them. That is one of the mistakes people do, because of a certain experience their parents have had, other members of their families have had with in-laws. We go into certain relationships already branding in-laws as bad. As for me, I have decided that my in-laws will not have any space in my marriage. That is not a very good outlook to start a relationship with them. So for me, these are the three things: the two do's and then the one don't you shouldn't when it comes to
Okay, so even if you've experienced them in a negative light, you should still, try to put that behind you and be respectful to them and honor them. So that's what you're saying. Great. Osafo, what would you like to add to that?
Yes, I think it's important for the couple to be open. One of the do's I want to emphasize is you must be very open.
Okay.
Open in the sense that sometimes you have a certain feeling about your in-law.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm keeping it to myself because I don't want my spouse to feel offended that I have this prejudice against the parent.
Yeah.
If you do that, you are going to build up a certain envy and jealousy, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So be open. If, for example, you perceive that your mother-in-law doesn't like you, you can discuss with your husband. I've noticed that anytime mommy comes around, she has a certain attitude. Can you also observe so that we can have a better view? Your husband also observes and said, yes, I think I've noticed this. But I think that is how she is. When we were growing up, even when our cousins come around, that's the same thing. Then you manage those things. So if you don't speak up, it's difficult to analyze the situation.
Yeah.
The second thing is that the whole idea of your parents and my parents must be dissolved. Once you get married, you see, sometimes my wife will say that mommy called you, daddy called you.
And you're confused as to which one.
Because there was a time when I said that I think I said your mother. He said my mother. I said our mother. So once you start consciously trying to see that my wife's parents are my parents. It's a very good foundation for you to build a very healthy relationship with your in-laws, because you begin to treat them like you would treat. You see, there's nothing like your mother, my father. You get it? So that must be very clear on. You must be very clear on that level, that my parents are your parents and yours are mine.
Okay.
It helps a lot. One of the don'ts I would want to mention is that don't ever try to pitch your in-laws against your partner.
That's a big one.
Yes. Sometimes you are, because you think that, oh, my husband loves me so much, so anything I'll say about the mother, my husband will side with me. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
There are sometimes that wives will make a lot of complaints about their mother-in-law, their father-in-laws, and I'm like, do you know that the person you are talking about is the person's mother, father? Definitely there will be some kind of parental and love in him. And you'll always want to say, sometimes if they are not defensive, they'll go back and they'll be thinking, does this woman really appreciate the people who give birth to me? So always be very careful. And I'm not saying that our in-laws are 100% angels. Some of them will do things that will hurt you. But when you are discussing it with your spouse, just know that the person who gave birth to your partner is the one you are talking about. So never, and don't be deceived that because you're somebody will say 2x4 love that got you, you are going to be able to override the love that the parent or the child has for the parent. So these are things that I think we should be very, very mindful of. The other issues of respect and communication, they are very important. They are very key. In some once in a while, don't wait till it is the birthday or something. Once in a while, call yourself. Oh, mommy, how are you doing? Missed you.
If my husband is watching this, he'll be like, you said his points for him.
Once in a while, don't even ask your husband for money to go and get any gift for the mother. Surprise your mother, your mother-in-law, without your husband is even knowing. Do same for your father-in-law, and it's going to. Sometimes people are wowed by some of these things. Wow. For you to even think of, it's not my birthday, Christmas Day, and him say the money, oil. But this one is out of the blue. I saw this bag on IG. I think that will be so nice on that your brown dress.
That's nice.
Even if the person is harboring some bitterness,
it will start melting.
You know what the Bible says in Romans 12? It says that when your enemy doesn't love you, continue to show the love. And when you do that, you are heaping the coal of fire on the person. So these are very in-law 101.
This one is very, very practical.
Just escape all the troubles with your in-laws.
And I think at this stage that you become an in-law, it's cancels out the bit we started with, where when you're in a relationship, you don't take initiative. Now you are married to them, you can take initiative. So we are not saying that before you get married, go and do these things. We're saying that once you get married, do these things. And the bit about you saying, like, think about them, pick the phone and call them without even your partner knowing that you're giving them a call, I think is very important. If it is your parent, you do it. So why not your in-law, who is now your parents? Great. So
and there's a plus there. Sometimes you get, oh, your husband comes home, hey, mommy said that you called during the day. Wow, she was so excited. And it helps you to also build that relationship.
Even as we are talking about it, I see like how beautiful it will be to receive such a call. So I think that's something that we need to do. And then Ikea, you mentioned that the respect that you would accord to your parents, that's the same issue you accord. So even if you don't respect your parents, should you have respected them, what you would have accorded them, you should do the same with them. And sometimes you can follow your partner's lead on some of the things that they do, because they know them better. They know that, okay, when they meet, they like to hug. Maybe you're not a huggy person, but because they like that, embrace it, follow their lead to also win some points for yourself. Yes, the audition is over, but I mean, it's good to be in their good graces. Yes, I want to move on. There's another dynamic where sometimes somebody gets married to somebody and the person the in-laws don't accept the spouse, the new person coming in. So you're married to a woman, the in-laws do not accept, your parents do not accept her, or as a husband coming in and the parents do not accept them? What can you do about that? So I'll start with you.
You see, marriage is a very important institution.
It is.
There's a reason why God, in His wisdom,
Hmm.
spoke about you leaving your father's house
Yeah.
and cleaving.
Hmm.
Sometimes when you were leaving,
Yeah.
there were a lot of things behind you that you didn't iron out.
Okay.
I know of young people say that I love this lady. My father says no, I love. You push, and you get the marriage
Yeah.
going.
Mm.
Now the father is sitting at the back and saying that, well, I didn't consent to this. So let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
You may try to get the man to show affection to your spouse. It will not work.
Yeah.
So I want to start from the entry point.
Okay.
Sometimes even if your parents don't agree, there are ways that you can iron things out. You enter into, and do not feel like you disrespected or you ignored all the advice they give you.
Yeah.
Sometimes young people, let's listen. Let's listen, because if you listen, sometimes, mommy, I understand what you are saying, and you know sometimes some of these issues are things that you can easily avoid. For example, when your parents are playing the tribal card, that our family, we don't marry girls. And you know that as for this one, it is not biblical. As for this one, as Christians, we should be able to move away from it. It means that you have a good point. So you must be able to warm their heart into the conversation.
Yeah.
Mommy, I think that as Christians, if we are going by what Paul tells us in Galatians, that in Christ there is neither Jew nor Hebrew, then please allow. You see, when you're able to do that, it means sometimes they will not agree, they will consent, and sometimes they will say like, yeah, sure, call. So they are just trying to monitor you to see if it will go well.
Yeah.
And if you're able to start well, they begin to open up to your spouse. So the entry point is very important. And then again, there are people that, my dear sisters, sometimes, even us, we have people that we look at the person and say that as for this person, I don't flow with the person at all. Do you have people like that?
Yeah.
There are some people in your classroom. You meet the person, the way the person will do something that as for this person, I wouldn't want to be on the same table in the dining hall with the person.
That happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
So we are humans. So if you notice someone doesn't like you, as a Christian, your responsibility is to love the person.
Anyway.
So and especially if the person is your husband or your wife's parent or relative, please. This one is difficult to do sometimes because sometimes your sister-in-law can be fighting you on every level.
Yeah.
Sees you and eyes you, sees you and throws a word at you. But your Christian obligation is to love even your enemies.
Yeah.
So you show love.
Yeah.
And you see, when you show that kind of love, it makes the person even wonder, like, this girl, I've been trying to, since they were dating, I have been trying to show her that we don't like her in this one. My brother has gone to marry, or my sister has gone to marry this person. And now she's still showing me love. Just pray for the person.
Yeah.
Just do your Christian responsibility of love. And I can tell you that if God is pleased, what are the prayers of men? If God is satisfied with you as a wife, all that you have to do, you are doing. What are the prayers of men?
Yeah.
So I will advise that aside checking before we enter, even when you are in, and even sometimes the person can be all nice to you in the courtship, but when you get married, and maybe because you don't manage the in-laws well, they realize that, as my sister said, weekly the man was sending 100 cedis. But since you got married, the man has stopped sending the money.
Yeah.
It can develop into a certain hatred towards you. They may be wrong, but they'll say that since our son married or our daughter married this man or this woman, the money has stopped coming.
Yeah.
So you must also begin to check those things. Do an assessment and evaluation. What has changed?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
When we were dating, you knew that my husband was a mommy's boy. All of a sudden, your husband has stopped calling the mother. You can even come in. Hey, have you called your mommy this week?
Yeah.
No. Hey, come, bring your food. You start to initiate it, because sometimes the things we do, they put the marriage or the relationship between our in-laws in a very dark corner.
Yeah.
So as a partner, you must always be someone with a torchlight, shedding light on the dark spots.
Yeah.
And if you're able to shed the light, I can tell you that, aside the fact that some in-laws are just naturally
what they are.
yes, antagonistic. Somebody calls them patience ozoko. Aside that fact, there are some that genuinely they will begin to open up to you.
Yeah, great. So I think one of the beautiful things I heard in this submission about do's and don'ts, and then into this question, is that we need to ensure that, they are human. They are human, and they are bound to make mistakes, and then they are bound to get some things right. So we need to extend them some grace.
Yes.
Sometimes they are not even aware. And then you mentioned a point about, telling your partner about, this is my observation. It's not that you have sat in judgment and said that this is it, so you are open to the conversation that this is what I've observed. It might be true, it might not be true. Or do the same observation and let me know, and then we take it from there. And then you also mentioned everything we do, it has to be in agreement. We have to do it together. What were your responsibilities before the marriage? Reverend said that sometimes those responsibilities, you might check them, and then that might develop into them not accepting, because they used to accept you when you were courting, and you now might think that, oh, the person is a witch because they didn't think we'll get married, we're married. But it's just little things like this. Great. This conversation is much more interesting than you can ever imagine, but we have to take a break here. When we come back, we'll hear from Ikuya, her thoughts on this. Welcome back. This is PCG TV, True Love Talk Show, and we are here having a conversation on managing relationships with in-laws. This relationship is very important, and we need to get it right so that we can enjoy our marriages much more. Ikuya, what are your thoughts on when your spouse or your spouse's parents, who are now your parents, do not accept you?
I think Papa had pounded on this very
lovely. Yeah.
I think all I would have to say is that the spouses also usually have a role to play.
Okay.
Always find an area of interest or commonality.
Okay.
To speak well of your spouse to their family.
Okay.
So you tell your mom, hey, the way you like praying, that's how my wife likes praying. She does a lot of find common grounds that your family seem to cherish and paint your spouse in that light.
Okay.
Paint them positively.
Okay.
Sometimes do we end up sending more negative reports to our family than positivity. Let your mother know that, oh, your wife is taking up a few things that she can. The last time when we came to the house, she said she liked the way you do your tomato sauce, so she wants you to teach her. Then you are bringing a certain bridge, or just go home and say, my mom used to do some potom, and mommy today I've brought my wife, teach her how to do the potom for me. You know your family best. You know the dynamics that play out well. Your spouse usually is a stranger. You are trying to find their feet. Always hold their hand and lead them through. They may not be besties, but there will be a few things that will connect them. A few things of interest that will end up opening the door for them to sort of relate in one way or the other.
And then you build up from there. Great. Thank you very much. Now we move to the other side of the equation. When your spouse does not like your family or is not welcoming of them, what do you do? it really happens.
I'll be biased on this side. So, if my spouse or a spouse does not want the family of their partner, I think the first and foremost thing is to work within before you work on the outside. So why? There could be reasons he does not like the family. It always comes back to the responsibility of the spouse. What story are you telling about your family? What position are you positioning your family? Or someone just doesn't get up and decide that people I don't know, I have not met, I don't have a relationship with them. I just don't like them. So let's start with them. Let's find out what is the reason my spouse doesn't like my family. Is there a particular thing that he's heard, seen, observed about my family that he doesn't like? Then let's start working out from there. It is easier to fight the battle within your family than, because that's your new family, than to go and fight before your extended family.
Okay.
Because at this point, the question is it the marriage or the family? If the family is part of it, we should be able to work within to let our spouse feel a certain warmth towards the extended family before we go and stand behind my mother. This is my mother. If you don't like my family, then no, you're already married. If it is before marriage, then you can actually take a stance and decide that, you know what, marriage is between families. If you cannot stand my family, I cannot cut them off. So maybe we can go our separate way. But if we are married, then that is when you start seeing that you don't have that love for the family. You need to work within. Work within, pray. As usual, these things, they cannot be moved on. So we fast and pray. Pray, commit to prayer. Continue to push the positivities of your family. So your spouse will see. And then gradually, if they are able to, fine. But if they are not, you don't need to cut off. Continue your responsibility towards your family. Continue to do what you need to do for your family. Don't be two people divided against them. If you are going to a function and your husband has to be there and he's not there, he doesn't want to go because he doesn't want to meet people. Find an excuse for him. Oh, this week he's not going to be available. This function, I cannot come with him because he has something to do. Go back and give a good report. So everybody was asking of you, missed you. They want to see how you are doing. Maybe
this is a full-time job.
What is not a full-time job? Marriage? What exactly? Marriage is not a full-time job. But that's our calling. You know, to keep the peace. So we would have to.
And what you said about what reports are you giving of your family to them? You know, sometimes you are telling them about something painful that you told them maybe when you were courting, something painful that happened to you, your mother did this, your father did this, and they formed a certain perception of them. So what we are telling our spouse about our family before we even get married and after we get married is important. Sometimes your mother might pass a comment. Maybe they came to eat food in your house and like, hey, and you go quickly and go and tell your partner that this is what your mother said. You might tell them, but say it in a playful way. But if you go and tell them spitefully, then they are also, you know, absorbing like, hey, mommy way, you know, and then it becomes something else. So that is also one way, and I like that. Okay. Also, for what you have to say to this? Sometimes people don't like their spouse's family. How can we handle
There's
this?
no smoke without fire.
Okay.
And my sister mentioned that you must work it within. You must ask the person. Sometimes you perceive. There are some perceptions. There are some that are perceptions. So even when that's not what maybe you are thinking that I don't like them, but maybe that's not the issue. But if there is an issue, you must be able to fish it out and resolve it. Because if you say you don't like, sometimes people will come and say, I don't like this person. Why don't you like the person? And they're like, I just don't like the person. You know, when the person gives that feedback, then you know that this person is just not interested in human relations. But where the person is able to come up and say that maybe the person did this, you know, sometimes too, the way we receive feedback that our partners give us concerning our family behaviors and all that also influence the way they also react. Sometimes, maybe one time he came to tell you that, oh, this your sister did this, and then you went straight to your sister, confronted your sister. Why do you do this to my husband? And your husband is now like, oh, I thought you could resolve this. So the next move that he will take is that then let me not even try to step on their corridors. Let me not even try to associate with them, because if there's an issue and I come and report to my partner, it will escalate. And maybe the person also doesn't want to be the reason why you are fighting in your family. Maybe you're not on talking terms with your siblings. And then when the matter is brought to the elders, the husband is the bone of contention. So he will say that, well, if that is the case, let me just step out of this family. So you are doing a party, he doesn't want to be there. You are doing a funeral, he doesn't want to be there. And you are thinking that this person doesn't like, but because of that one instance that maybe you didn't. So if you're able to talk it out, it's okay, I think that one I made a mistake. Let us just iron it and then move on in a relationship. It's able to help. There's there's this popular traditional analogy we use that the tongue and the teeth are always in one place. They bite each other, they do all sorts of things, and yet you cannot pick pliers or something and move your teeth and then say that you don't want to be there because you know, the teeth is always biting the tongue. You always have to talk about it. So if you see that there is a friction, there is a tension between your partner, and then your family. You need to talk about it.
Mm.
And you see, here too, I want to advise us. One of the things I've come to realize is that in marriage, if you keep things in you,
it becomes something else. Yeah.
You see, something that could have been discussed in a day, you keep it for 7 months. And then when your husband or your wife prompts you or something, then you say that 7 months ago, your sister eyed me. You go and ask my sister. My sister
doesn't remember.
Or 7 months ago, your sister said this. Your sister doesn't even remember. But if you had been very tact about it, you can say, oh, is that so? Let me out. I can just confront her and ask her in a very nice way. And then, oh, okay, let's resolve it.
But also, because sometimes people don't want to be like everything they are talking about it. So even though they've not really let it go, they don't want to also be the nagging wife or the nagging husband. So they don't bring it up just to see if maybe,
I think that
they can deal with it on their own.
Nagging. When you get into marriage, you must redefine it.
Okay.
In your bedroom, there's no nagging. Shout, throw pillows, do everything. When you are done, clean your mouth, dress neatly, hold each other's hand, and come out. Sometimes in a family gathering, there's an issue. You blink at your wife, you go inside. Maybe you are boiling inside. Say whatever you want to say. When you are done, hold the hand and be pegging her. Nobody even knows that you went there to complain or she nagged or something. So that's very important. And if you always call your wife or your husband a nagging person, that is where there are issues that need to be addressed. He or she would never be able to come and say that this is the issue or this is the reason why I'm acting in this way. And you can be in the marriage for 20 years and your wife or your husband will be having something against your mother.
No. That would be heavy.
I believe that if something bothers you, talk about it. If you don't talk about it with your spouse, who else? If it bothers you, if it doesn't bother you, that's a different ball game. But as long as it pricks an emotion, talk about it.
Yeah. And find a solution together. You can resolve it together.
You need a solution. You just need an avenue to let out.
And then you're fine. Yeah. Yeah. And like you both said, they are your parents now. The other family is your family now. I think one issue with this not liking the other person's family, sometimes the amount of responsibility that person has towards them. So maybe he's an only son, the rest are sisters. He was the one shouldering all the financial burden. Now he's married. My family also needs help, but it's always going to your end. So sometimes then they build some resentment towards them because it's like my family also needs help, or our family now needs some help. Sometimes there are fees to pay, there's this or that to do, but we are only looking on the outside. So sometimes how we manage that, Ike, I think you mentioned that whatever responsibilities you had, you should pull it together now and do it together. So finding the right balance without neglecting the responsibilities you had. But maybe talk to your family that, look, I need to cut back because now we have a daughter, we have 2 boys, we have this, so I cannot do as much as I used to do, dialogue with them. Don't let them also think that it's your wife that is saying or it's your husband that is saying. How we manage all these things, I think it really helps to, smoothen things out on the other side. And we can, it's doable. It's doable. It's just a lot, but it's doable.
All things. It's doable.
Yeah.
And let me just also chip in this that we are talking about from the family, from the couple point of view. And I always want to also say that our listeners are part of families.
Yeah.
So we need to learn. For example, if your brother was taking care of you when you were, everything, and now your brother is married.
Yeah.
Your brother has a child. Your brother has a wife. Your brother has more responsibilities.
Yeah.
At least you should be considerate.
Yeah. Even without a conversation, you should know that things have changed.
That's all. Maybe every month he was sending you something, but you realize that maybe what he was sending you has now reduced or the frequency has reduced. You don't need to assume that the wife is influencing him now and this, and sometimes you go and say it somewhere, you don't know who is listening, the wife gets to hear of it, and the wife is also now very much embittered about the whole situation. So I think that we should also be considerate as family members. If once you are doing it to your in-law, you will also get married.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and the world is always moving in circles.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get there, I say, oh, okay, that's why my brother, that's
Yeah.
why my sister.
Yeah.
But by that time, maybe you
Yeah.
might have spoiled a lot
Yeah.
of relationships
Yeah.
in there. So let's be considerate
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
expectations, especially when people are
Yeah.
married.
Yeah, and they say that ignorance of the law is no excuse. Now we're having conversations like these. It's more accessible. So even if you cannot, picture it on your own, you are hearing it here on PCG TV. You are hearing it on other social media platforms, and you need to learn something from it. Wherever you hear something, what is the message for me? Take it and then run with it, so that you don't end up spoiling so many things before you actually come to a place of understanding. This is PCG TV. We are on the show True Love Talk. We'll take a short break and continue the conversation. Hello and welcome back. This is PCG TV in the light. There is light. Ikea, I want to ask you this question, and it's very important to me. We're talking about in-laws, and I mean, popular opinion is that in-laws are like bad, and but I believe that they can also be a blessing to a young marriage. What do you have to say about that?
In-laws can be super helpful and a big blessing to young marriages. One, they have had marriages before we did, so they have that experience. When it comes to childbirth, they are the ones who don't have work to do, so they can actually come and help us, in taking care of the kids. They have very valuable advice most of the time to direct us. Some of our in-laws have solid connections, and you may never know this until you've built certain relationships, around them. And so they have a vast array of resources that they can bless a new marriage with. Most importantly, prayer. I know in-laws who wake up morning, afternoon, evening because they don't go anywhere. All they are doing is praying for marriages of their children. And these are things we can tap from our in-laws. But if you don't have a solid relationship with them, if you don't treat them right, if you are not honoring them, you may not be the top of their list. They may be giving these resources to other people who are not even family members, just because we do not want to harness the relationship. So in-laws, positively, they can influence us. And even best of all, they are the ones who raised our spouses. They know their ins and outs.
Exactly.
I've had a lot of valuable insights from my in-law to handle my spouse, because when I got married, Charlie, not me who saw what is happening. The guy I was dating from far and the man I was living with in the house, I needed also for mommy to sit me there and be like, Charlie, this one is just like Papa Sofo. So as you see Papa Sofo, just handle him in that light. And it has been a blessing to me. She comes when I'm pregnant most of the time because my mom was not on retirement. So she will come and help me when I'm pregnant with the kids. And it's been, very solid for us. So they are worth the investment.
And even when they are busy, they still would be happy to help with the kids or be happy to receive you and all that. Sometimes I have friends who, when they were heavily pregnant, they couldn't do so much. Some had to be on bed rest, and the in-laws will come in and support with all those things. Your parents might not be around, they may not be available, they might not be able to come, even though they want to be there. So if you have a good relationship with your in-laws, it can help with these things. Also, could you have something to add to this?
Yes, I think I would just want to give two biblical examples, and then just to buttress the point that I was speaking. In the case of Moses, work was, burdening this young man who was leading God's people. He took the father-in-law Jethro to say that, my son-in-law, if you don't take care, you are going to die doing this work. So you need to start working and managing the people that. So that's an in-law offering guidance, wise counsel. So, and we value and we respect our elderly people in that part of the world, and rightly so, because the girls will say that noni obada moshini una noni numu bada moshini bana what numu ekonopo una. What it means is that what an elderly person will see while standing, even if you go and stand on top of the shoulder of that elderly person, you will never see it. So you must see them as valuable counselors, advisors. And the story of Ruth is also a very practical example. It took Naomi. I'm sure she would have just been walking about in in the area. Nobody
Yeah.
will see.
Yeah.
I took Naomi to say that you need to position yourself in this way and do things this way. So our in-laws are not bad. Only we shouldn't only. Sometimes these movies that we watch
Yes.
give us that notion that
Yeah.
in-laws are supposed to be wild and bad and all that, but there are good things they offer. And I just cited 2 examples from scripture just to bring us. And Peter's instance is a very funny one. You know, Peter's mother-in-law was sick. It took Jesus to heal this woman. Now just imagine it. Imagine
if Peter hadn't.
if Peter had a very bad relationship with that in-law, what would have happened?
He will direct
He
Jesus
would have
somewhere
just
else.
said, "Jesus, don't touch this. Let's and that would have been an issue. But because of the relationship, I believe Jesus was able to make an impact in this in-laws life. So in-laws out there, we are appealing to you that we know there are a lot of bad sides, but let's show the good side. Like I mentioned, this very, very good examples from scripture, offering guidance, leading the people the right way, showing love, and where they need support, please. Because I'm telling you that recently I saw my wife post on the status that I have the best sisters-in-law.
Oh, that's
Because
nice.
since we gave birth in March, my sister sometimes she will move to our place every morning. Now, when my sister is going, my wife is going to work, she leaves her daughter with my other sister. I mean, I can't imagine her going to work with the baby and she has to go and hide somewhere, and breastfeed, and all those things are very challenging. So once you have in-laws, they offer you great support.
Great. Thank you very much. And now, how can a wife, promote like her well-being and also promote a healthy relationship with in-laws? Sometimes it can be clashing, it can be draining, it can be a lot. But as a wife, how can you ensure that, yes, I'm taking care of myself, but I'm also ensuring that I have a good relationship with my in-laws? Yeah.
So since I'm the woman,
Maybe I'll talk for the husband.
Sure. So one of scripture that I usually apply when it comes to such things is that wives, submit unto your own husband. I mean, it's not just the husband as the human being, but as an institution. You are called first to look at what would work well for your house. The well-being of your immediate family is very important. You are part of that immediate family. Imagine that the mother or the wife, you break down because you're taking on so much responsibility for yourself, for external family. When there are other people you could, solicit for help to, help in those areas, and you break down, what happens to the entire family system or structure that you have created? Build a healthy relationship with your in-laws. Don't do overboard. Marriage is not for impression. If there's anyone we need to impress, it is Christ. So as long as your marriage is impressing Christ, I think that is good to go. Don't take up burdens that are too much for you when there are other people who are there to support. Look within. Am I healthy enough for my family? Am I healthy enough to take care of my husband and my children? Am I healthy enough to extend extra hands to the people who are in my extended family? Think through that. And make sure that the help that you are offering is rather quality and essence. Offer essential help to in-laws. As Papa had already mentioned, if your responsibility is making sure that your spouse is keeping in touch and fulfilling their responsibility, that is help enough. Don't go worrying yourself about, I have to be the one cooking for the month, for the family, just to score points. At the end of the day, it is your health that will be in detriment. And also, we trying to please people, being people pleasers, is one of the things that will lead us into our fall. Don't please people. If it is up to you, make sure that you are doing what is right with God and what will bring glory to God, in my opinion.
Thank you. So, would you want to add something to that?
For the husbands, I think that as far as you can, please work out whatever relationship it is as far as you can. Don't stress. Sometimes you are just there, you are depressed because maybe your sister-in-law or your brother-in-law doesn't like you. You are depressed. You will die. And when you die, the family will still be there.
Yeah.
The two of you make up the marriage. If one of you is not there, the marriage is automatically dissolved.
Yeah.
So whatever will try to take away your life, I think you should stay away from it.
Okay.
So your motive should be that I am working to sustain this marriage and the relationship I have with my in-laws, but I'm not going to die.
Yeah. As a result
of that. No. Sometimes we will be burdened. You see somebody is there like this. What is wrong with you? My in-laws. You can die. You can find yourself in a sometimes all these medical things we see. They say there's a young 42-year-old. What a shock. Some of these things, the person carries it on, and it's like there's a burden on you. And if you don't take care, you can. So my advice is that what you have to do to make the thing work is do it. Beyond that, there's a point. That's what the Bible says, as far as it depends on you, be at peace with all
everyone.
men and women. So if there's a challenge and you have tried to a certain level and you are, sometimes people go at the breaking point. By the time you realize and say that, oh, you could have just said it's too late, the person is gone. And sometimes people even get mental issues and all that out of that. So I think as far as you can, you go, but don't kill yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think one other thing too is, as a spouse, as a wife or a husband, if you see that your partner is overburdened or in one of these places, you need to do something about it. Don't just look on. If you're not willing to open up, push, pray for them, encourage them to speak to you, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't talk to your spouse about these things, who can you talk to them about? Yes. Also, let's take it that I have an issue with my husband's parents or his family. Should my husband be the one to resolve the issue, or I should be the one to go to them about it? This is our final question.
I think the best approach would be for your husband to deal with his family.
Okay.
You see, there are some blood is thicker than water. When I say that, I mean you're also blood.
Yeah.
But there are levels of the blood. If sometimes there are some parents, there are children who say something to them. It's normal for them. But if a third party or another person says the same thing, you will say that you've insulted me. So leave your spouse to handle the family. It's best that way. They've known each other for a longer period. They know sometimes that when your father breathes in and breathes out, it means that he's going to explode. So you know how to handle that explosion. But you may not know. And you go there and you are saying it calmly. And this person breathes in, breathes out.
And you are so saying.
And then the person bends. And that will destroy the relationship altogether. So I always advise that leave your partner
to do that.
The family.
Sure.
If it is something that you have to come in, you can always chip in. And you see, in relationship, when you step your foot forward, come back and report.
Oh,
when I went, this is what happened. Okay, I think that this is what you could have you could do or something. Offer, go behind. It's like you are behind your husband. And your husband is saying, say this. The husband says it. Because definitely your husband will come back and report to you.
Great. I believe you're aligned. Great. So all too soon, we're coming to the end of the show, but I want to take your final words. Anybody watching you navigating in-law relationships or going to be an in-law then, so is an in-law already, what words do you have for them finally?
So marriage, as intended by God, is meant for us to enjoy. And so the dynamics of marriage encompasses in-laws. We cannot take you out of it. Be the blessing that God has called you to be for the marriage. And as couple, let's just remember that our duty as called Christians is to ensure that we are honoring our parents, honor your family members, ensure that we are not harboring any ill towards anyone. If you have issues, let's discuss them, because the family unit sustains marriage.
Thank you very much, Reverend Tolleson.
I want to end with 1 Peter 4, verse 8. It says that above all things, love each other deeply.
Okay.
Above all things, above the in-law influence, above the dislikes, above the likes, whatever it is, above all things, love each other deeply. And the each other there is your spouse. The each other there is your in-law. The each other there is that friend of yours. You must be able to show love. And love covers a multitude of sins. A multitude. So if your in-law has a tall list of negatives, your love can cover it. So above all things, love each other very deeply. So to the newly wedded, to those who are 10 years, to those who are 15 years, to those who are 20, 30 years, love each other deeply. And to the in-laws, love your daughter and your son-in-law also deeply. And the Lord will bless us as we build very formidable marriages and families.
Amen. Thank you very much to our guests on today's show. This has been True Love Talk on PCG TV, and I believe that you're leaving enriched with wisdom on how to navigate in-law relationships. And we want to leave you with a scripture in Romans 12:18 that as much as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. We will see you on the next show. Bye for now.